Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I was just halfway through doing my makeup and then I thought, why don't I stick the camera on, have a little chat to you guys while I do it and update you on my life. As well as I asked you guys on Instagram a little while ago for some questions, so I have a few of them to answer as well. I've got my little iced coffee because it is very needed this morning. I mean, it's literally 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I woke up late today and I need a bit of caffeine to get me going. So I wanted to update you guys because obviously some of you may have seen that I put out a video not too long ago kind of explaining what had happened recently in mine and Brad's lives. And if you didn't see that video, then basically 2 of Brad's family members 3 weeks ago now were taken very ill, literally within 24 hours of each other. So it was his great granddad and his nan. It was a very hectic time for everybody and it was a very emotional time, but that's what I kind of wanted to update you guys on because I kind of put out that video and then I went straight back into uploading clothing hauls, and you guys must be thinking, where's the middle ground here, like what actually happened? And I think I don't want that to come across as bad because it's just one of them things where this is my full-time job and Brad had to carry on working throughout this time, and unfortunately that's my work. Like, I say unfortunately, but also it's incredible because I could drop everything at the time when I needed to and you guys were so supportive. So that was an amazing part of it because I know that there's definitely jobs out there where you cannot do that and no matter what you have to be at work and blah blah. Like, I get that I'm in a very lucky position, but I didn't want you guys to think like, Christ, how has she gone from her family members being really unwell to then like, oh, everything's fine and these are the clothes I bought, do you know what I mean? Because it just wasn't like that. It's just whether there were jobs that had deadlines that I couldn't move. That's why I went straight back into those videos, but hence why I wanted to do today's and just like have a little chat with you guys. So to update you on that, about a week ago now, Brad's great granddad has passed away. He was 90 years old and he had an insane life. So as much as it's obviously like awful to go through something like that, it was comforting to know that it was his time and he was just old. And I think to me personally that's like the best way that you can go if you just go of old age. So yeah, I think it made it a lot easier for all of us to take comfort in that and know that he was comfortable. But on the other hand, his nan has made an insane recovery. She actually suffered from a heart attack and she's blown us all away with her recovery. Like, it's absolutely insane. Obviously there were a lot of bumps in the road, hence why I was kind of like back and then not really back, because everything was kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So yeah, all of that is kind of in the past and she is now making an insane recovery. Brad's actually down there today just seeing her because she's back at home already. Like, it's just insane what she's gone through. She is such a trooper, hence why she has made this remarkable recovery. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. It has been a very like surreal 3 weeks, and like I say, most of us have had to carry on with work and try and just fit everything around, but obviously everybody comes together at times like that, and that's why I wanted to upload the video. We take a lot of things for granted when stuff like that isn't happening, so I wanted to kind of get my emotions out there and let you guys know that life is very short, and please don't take things for granted or people in your life for granted because you just never know what's going to happen. But anyway, that is the update on that side of things. Also, I am going to leave all of the makeup products that I use in today's video down in the description because I'm going to be chatting a lot and I'm probably going to forget to tell you what I'm using on my face. Okay, so I'm going to move on to some questions from Instagram, and I want to start with this one because it's quite prominent to me at the moment and kind of like how I'm feeling at the moment. So someone says how to balance work, friendships and relationships all at once. So just to give you a little bit of a background on Brad and I, if you don't know who Brad is, he is my boyfriend. We've been together 6 years this August, so a very long time. And as much as 6 years sounds like a long time and it's like crazy to be in a relationship for that long, it's more crazy to think that we were like 16 to 22, because obviously when you're 16 you're like literally a child. You don't have any responsibilities, you don't have any commitments together that are like massive commitments. So it's crazy that we've like grown up together, and luckily we've grown into wanting the same things out of life and we've kind of like merged into the same path in life. So when I was 19, Brad was 20, we're literally like 6 months apart. We moved to London, so we had a flat together in London. That was like our first big commitment together, and by that time we'd been together 3 years. So we rented there and we were living in Stratford, which is literally where every YouTuber lives, and typically now I do this full time. I don't live there anymore, but it was like the best time of my life. Like, we lived there for 2 years and I love it. I miss it every day. But it just got to the point where we literally looked at our like joint bank account and we had spent 38 grand on rent alone in 2 years. So we kind of looked at that and thought, where we live now, that is like a massive deposit on a house. We were kind of in the mindset where we were like, we want to save some money. I was working a couple of jobs. I worked like some social media jobs when I was living down there, and the job that I was in at the time I wasn't really loving, let's say. And at the same time as that, I was trying to grow my own social media, so that was kind of like picking up a bit, in the sense that I was starting to make some money from it. I could see where things could potentially go if I could invest more time into it. So we moved back from London because we just thought, we're paying ridiculous amounts, we want to be able to spend some money on things that we want to do, like traveling or potentially looking into buying a house and stuff like that. So we decided to move back here. So currently we are living with my parents, so both Brad and I live in my family home. His parents are literally like 5 minutes up the road. We see them all the time, so it just makes a lot of sense. And we know that we're going to want to buy a house here in the future just because our family are all here. Yeah, we kind of took that opportunity to move back, and luckily I'm now being able to doing social media full time and trying my hardest to make it work. And he was able to keep his job in London but live back here, so he basically just commutes to London every Monday, and then like later on in the week he'll have to be like either back in London or in a different part of the country seeing clients or whatever. So if you ever see me on Instagram and I'm just like in a random place in England, it's probably because Brad's on a work thing and I just go along with him, because obviously I can work from anywhere, so it's like a little getaway for us and it's actually quite nice. So everything's working really well. But I wanted to give you that background because I have been feeling exactly this, like how do you balance your friendships, your work life and your relationship all at the same time? Because life can get very hectic, especially when you're like 20, 22 and you're trying to make your career work, because I feel like this is the time where everybody establishes their careers, or at least you're meant to, because it's different for everyone. You don't have to, but that's the way that I feel and that's the outlook that I have on this age. Like that's what I want to be doing. I am just going to do my bronzer while I chat to you about this. So I'm taking the NYX matte bronzer and this is in medium. Yeah, so we had a massive conversation yesterday because I was just saying to Brad, like both of us currently have been so busy with work, whether it's going away for work or whatever it may be. We've just been so busy, and that has kind of meant that we've lacked spending time with each other or chatting to each other. We haven't been like checking up on each other of how we feel and stuff like that. And some of you guys may be thinking, God, you're being quite honest, but personally I love watching people that are more open and honest about their feelings, because I can relate to it way more. And if I can watch someone like telling me exactly how they feel, especially within themselves, then I kind of think I'm not the only one, and it just makes me feel a little bit better about certain situations. So hence why I'm going to be honest with you guys. But yeah, we just haven't been making the time for each other, which is so important. Like as much as we have been together 6 years, and that is a long time, you still have to do the little things that you were doing at the start of your relationship and keep it fun and make sure you are letting each other know how much you care about them and stuff like that. Like it's just little easy things that take absolutely no effort but definitely don't go unnoticed, and more often than not those things do tend to die out, or you do them less as you progress. But I definitely think it's so important, especially when both of you are spending so much time on working on yourselves and your career and stuff. It's the easiest way to still be there for that person. So yeah, we were just having a massive chat about that, and obviously I've been working away a lot, like whether it's meeting up with friends or making new friends and stuff like that. It's a massive part of this as a career to me, because doing social media on your own could be very lonely, but I don't want it to be that. I want to meet people like whoever works in an office. You have your work friends because you work in an office, you know those people, you see them every day. Obviously I don't have that when I work at home and edit my videos on my own, but there are so many people on this platform that I relate to so much, and I've made insane friends through this platform. Just because you get to know someone before you even meet them, it means you have to go out, it means you have to invest a lot of time in maybe traveling to where they live or heading into London to actually meet these people, or events or whatever it may be. There is a lot of travel involved in this, which I love and Brad loves for me. Like I love the fact that he gets to host his clients and he's incredible with that. He always makes sure people are okay, and if he's ever hosting someone, no one's got an empty drink, like stuff like that, he'll pay for everything. Like he's just that type of guy. And I think where we've both done that so much in our careers, we've lacked doing that to each other, and that's why we had a massive conversation about it, because we were just like, we need to just do more date days, date nights, like stupid little things like that that are so easy to do. I think definitely to balance your career and a relationship, you just have to talk, and you have to make sure that the whole time you're on the same page about it. Because obviously if I was working really hard on my career and I knew that, I have to relay that to Brad, because obviously one of you could then be sitting there thinking, oh well, they don't want to spend any time with me, or they're not spending any time with me. But if they know that it's because you have to do XYZ for your career, they should support you on that. And that's exactly how me and Brad kind of solved the issue. We just make sure we're both on the same wavelength, and we know that it's not because we can't be bothered to go out on a date or whatever it is, it's just because something is important to our career, and we support each other on that. And then in terms of friendships, I think it's just so important to like make sure you are checking up on your friends, like even if it's just a text. text. As much as most of the time I don't get to see a lot of people because I am very busy with work or obviously with family at the moment, I still make sure I'm messaging my friends and checking up on them and making sure they're okay and having little catch-ups that way. Like, life is very hard when it comes to balancing all these three things, but it is very easy nowadays to just message someone and check if they're okay and check if they need anything, and just make sure you're making the time to see those people that mean the most to you. And sometimes you do need to put that before work because it is so much more important. But I don't know, I feel like I completely rambled on there, but I suppose I was just explaining my situation because it definitely is hard to do those three things. So don't feel like you're doing anything wrong if you're feeling a bit like out of your depth with balancing everything. It's difficult, but as long as everybody in your friendship group or your relationship and your family and stuff, if you're all on the same page and you explain yourself to these people, then good people in your life should support you in all of your decisions, especially if it is career-wise. But I hope that helps in some way. I mean, like I said, I just completely rambled, but that's what this video is going to be. Someone says, how do you do your makeup? I'd love a makeup tutorial. 2 in 1. I literally love you guys. So a few of you have literally just said like, how are you? And I think that's insane. Like, I love how you guys actually care about how I might be doing mentally or just in general. So I'm going to quickly touch on that because I have been okay. I've definitely had a lot of anxiety battles at the moment, and I kind of knew that it was going to happen when I moved home. So again, just a quick backstory so you guys can understand this maybe a bit more. So when I used to live here when I was younger and I was just living with my parents, because that's what you do when you're a child, I had a lot of like my anxiety based situations here, not necessarily because of anything that happened at home, but just because when I lived here was when I was most anxious about certain situations, whether it was like socially or relationship wise or just other things that may have been going on in life. I don't know about you guys, but my anxiety definitely attaches itself to a certain place. So when we lived in London, it was almost like a fresh start, and I had like a clean slate where I didn't have to think about anything, and I didn't have anything negative connected to the flat that we lived in because it was just completely new to me, and it was like the best fresh start I could have ever asked for. Like, my headspace in London was clear, like I was on top of the world. I was completely different in the way that I was thinking about things. I was so rational about everything and I wasn't irrational about anything, and my anxiety could never take over and stuff like that. And I knew for a fact that when we moved back here, I'd find it a lot harder to be rational about things again, because like I said, a lot of my anxiety happened in this house. In the sense of like, if I came home from somewhere because I was feeling so anxious, I would come home to here and it wouldn't necessarily make the feeling go away. Like, I don't know, it's going to be quite hard to understand if you don't necessarily get anxiety or don't know what it feels like. But yeah, I definitely get that whole like anxious feeling if I'm back in a place where I've had a bad experience. But that being said, it has meant that the past few months that we've been living here, so we moved back here in January, I want to say, so it was literally the start of this year and we're now in June. We're now halfway through the year. How mad is that? Oh my god, I've literally just come to that realization. That's insane. Anyway, I've definitely had a lot more battles within my own head to fight, so I'm good in general. I'm healthy, I'm happy, but there definitely are times that I've been feeling a little bit down about certain situations that are definitely acceptable to feel that way about, but my like anxiety head takes over and makes them a whole lot worse. And it's like this stupid snowball effect that just makes it into this situation that wasn't even a situation at the start. If you experience anxiety too, you will definitely know what I'm talking about. But yeah, weirdly for me, it's harder to deal with in a place where I felt most vulnerable in terms of my anxiety being able to take over than it was when I was living in London. So on the days where I'm good, I'm amazing. On the days where I'm not so great, I'm not amazing, and that's normal. That's life. Everybody feels that way. People that deal with anxiety may feel that way to a heightened extent because we have this other voice talking on our head telling us that it's so much worse than it is, and that's never fun to deal with. So that is kind of what I'm going through at the moment. But do you know what? I've learned to deal with it over the years, and I deal with it a hell of a lot better than I once did. So if you are like that too, remember to always give yourself a pat on the back, that no matter how far you've come, even if it's just a little bit, it's still a step forward. And anxiety and mental health is a very hard thing to deal with, and luckily I have an amazing support system around me that help me get through the days where I'm not feeling so great. So all in all, I'm a-okay, and I'm feeling great and on top of everything and good with where my life is going, I guess. But yeah, I definitely have those down days. I'm human and we all feel like that sometimes. But thank you to the girls that did ask that, because that is very sweet. So someone has asked, how much was your first paid collaboration on YouTube, and how to price yourself as a new YouTuber when brands ask for your fee? I'm gonna have a look back on my channel and see what the first paid collaboration I did on my YouTube channel was. Okay, so I did a collaboration ages ago, but it was on YouTube, but the video was never released because it was just for the brand. So I created these videos which were actually put on like, I want to say Lloyd's Pharmacy Facebook page, and I suddenly was like scrolling through Facebook and I just saw my face pop up and I was like, hi. And this was literally over a year ago. I think it was a year and a half ago, I want to say. I think I got paid 250 or 300 pounds for that, which was actually a lot at the time. But I really valued them as a company because they like valued the content that you could create them, so they weren't necessarily basing that fee off like my numbers or anything like that, because it was specifically a job for them to use the content. They obviously liked the style of content that I could produce and based the fee off that. So yeah, I think 250 or 300 pounds for that. But then I did a video with Shein, which was 11 months ago, and I think that was my first paid video, and for that I think I literally got paid like £90 or something like that. So yeah, obviously when you first start out your fees aren't going to be that much, but tips for basing your fee off of your stats and stuff when you're first starting out, because trust me, that was like one of my biggest faults when I first started out, because I just thought, oh my god, my numbers are so low, like I'm gonna have to just charge X for this, and obviously it would always be like a low fee because I just based it on numbers. But do not be afraid to know your worth, because that is the best thing that anybody ever told me, is knowing your worth and knowing how much you should be charging for the quality of content that you're producing. So definitely don't back down to like the first fee that a brand throws at you, because don't forget that it is sales and they're going to be wanting to get the lowest fee that they possibly can out of you, whereas you need to remember that you probably aren't worth that, and you at the end of the day are doing a job where you're literally filming, editing, uploading, marketing, like you're doing everything yourself. Obviously base it off the audience that you have and the reach that you're going to be able to give that brand, and there are a lot of things online where it shows you like different ways in which you can figure out your fee based on like your stats and stuff. But obviously all brands are going to be different anyway, like you're going to come across brands that pay more, or you're going to come across brands that have really tight budgets and they're not going to pay that much. So it definitely depends on the brand too, as well as like you as a person and as a content creator. But yeah, the biggest thing that I would say in regards to that is just to know your worth, and don't be afraid to negotiate, because like I say, it is a little bit of a sales game in terms of you as a creator and the brand itself. Okay, next question. Someone's asked me what my setup is in terms of like filming, so I'm just going to quickly go over that in case you wanted to know. So the camera that I use is just the G7X Mark II. Swear by this camera, it's so good for like all-round filming. And then the ring light that I use is one from Amazon. It was so cheap, it was like £80. You can buy very expensive ring lights, but that's the only light that I use for all of my videos. So yeah, that one is from Amazon. I will try and, excuse me, I will try and link this stuff down below so it's easy for you guys to buy it if you want to. And then the tripod that I use, this is one that my mum and dad bought literally 10 years ago for their wedding anniversary. Apparently it's by Velbon. I have no idea. I'll try and find it online and link it down below, but again, there's so many that you can get, and there are some very basic ones out there that are really inexpensive. But yeah, that's kind of my setup. Like I said, I'll leave it all linked in the description if you're interested. A lot of you guys were asking for tips on weight loss, which kind of surprises me. I know I did a video with Protein World, and at that time I was so motivated in the gym, like I was seeing results and I felt really good. But me and Brad's mum were doing all of that together, like we were motivating each other, we were going to the gym with each other, we were doing all these classes, like honestly we were on it. And then a lot of things happened like in life, and things not got in the way but meant that we couldn't go as regularly as we were, and in all honesty we just completely lost motivation and interest. And if anything, you actually see your results so much more when you do lose that motivation and you stop going to the gym, because while we were there we were kind of like, oh, it's not really doing anything anyway, blah blah, like neither of us have got holidays booked, so it's not like we were working towards anything other than it makes me feel great mentally. Like going to the gym is such a good thing for my headspace. To be bluntly honest with you guys, we've actually cancelled our gym membership because we were spending 60 quid a month I think on that membership, because it included all classes and stuff like that, and it was worth it at the time obviously when we were going regularly, but we were still spending that £60 and not stepping foot in that gym, so we have cancelled it for now. I definitely want to get back into it, because like I say, it is so good for my headspace if anything else, and I have seen results now that I've stopped. Like I was really baffled when I saw how many of you guys were asking for like weight loss tips and stuff. This dog. But I looked back at a load of my old videos, like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I had weight on me at all. I was absolutely fine then and I'm absolutely fine now. Like I've just feel a lot better in myself, and honestly I don't know how I've maintained it, because if anything I've gone the opposite way and I'm eating more rubbish things and I'm not going to the gym anymore. So I don't know how it's kind of stayed off, but I'm definitely starting to realize that I'm dairy intolerant, so I'm trying to cut that out of my diet as much as I can. And a lot of the weight that I had on me was more like bloat and a reaction to dairy, so I guess with cutting that out comes hand in hand of me looking less bloated and definitely feeling a lot less bloated. Yeah, I don't think I can really speak on it because I'm not at the gym anymore, but I am really hoping to get back into it. I think both Brad and I want to get back into the gym, so we're probably going to do it together and find one that we can both go to, because the biggest tip that I would give is to do it with somebody else, because you can motivate each other. Like there were times where I did not want to go to the gym and Nick would like turn up at my house and take me to the gym. So that always helps. But yeah, in terms of maintaining it, like I say, when I was doing it, it's just keeping up that consistency of going, and don't push yourself too hard, because there was definitely this class that we did like a body pump class. Oh my god, the next day I woke up and I could not move. I was so achy, and it was just because we'd never worked out those muscles, but we definitely pushed ourselves way too hard, and we were like off the gym for 4 days because we could literally like barely walk downstairs. It was really bad. So don't push yourself too hard, because that could happen, and that can definitely make you lose motivation if you literally can't get yourself to the gym. But hopefully I'll get back into it very soon, and I will definitely document a lot more on my channel, because I didn't change a lot in my life. I just went to the gym and got my fitness up, if anything, and I definitely didn't change a lot of my diet. As I say, it obviously made me want to eat less crap, but I still ate crap, and I still ate chocolate, and I still enjoyed my food, because that's the most important thing, is finding balance between like enjoying your food and enjoying socializing and not worrying about what you're drinking or what you're eating and blah blah, while still being able to feel motivated at the gym and keeping fit and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully when I'm back into it, fingers crossed that soon, I will do more coverage on my channel and like vlog the gym and stuff like that, because I know that a lot of you were asking for that as well. Someone said tips on how to make new friends. As sad as it is, this is a genuine question. After leaving sixth form last year, all of my friends pretty much cut themselves off. Girl, I feel you. It's so weird going from like a school environment where you all almost have to be friends because you see them every day, and you just pick the best of the bunch that you're put with. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know who your genuine friends are when you leave school and you go into work and you all become like adults and you have other responsibilities. You'll find out who your real friends are, and I love that. Like, honestly, I would rather count my friends on one hand than have hundreds that don't actually really care about me. So tips on finding new friends. Honestly, we're so lucky that we live in this age where we can speak to people on social media and get to know people. Like, that's honestly how I've made my friends recently now, obviously because of the job I'm in anyway. That is just part of it, and the people that I meet are basically my office workmates, like without the office. It just means that I have to travel a bit more to actually meet the people that I connect with online, but I love it. Like, honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of doing what I do. I love meeting new people. I love hearing new people's stories and getting to know their lives and stuff like that. It's just my favorite thing to do personally. I'm so interested by different people and different opinions and stuff like that. I'm a very social person. I love to get to know people. But in terms of tips on like making new friends, the biggest thing that you have to do, which is something that I've definitely forgotten in the past, is just be yourself. If you're meeting a new group of people, or you're changing your job or something, and you know that you're going to meet new colleagues and potentially make new friendships and stuff, don't try and be anything else because you feel like people might like it more. I've definitely done that in the past. Like, I've definitely been way too aware of like what I'm saying, or wanting to come across the wrong way, that I'm just then not myself. And honestly, you'll find that more people then see right through that and see that you are not being genuine, or you're worrying too much about what people think, that you don't get your personality across, and it's just not the right way to go about it. Like, it doesn't end well, and you'll probably end up meeting people that won't become lifelong friends. Yeah, 100% be yourself in every situation where you're meeting new people. But it is a lot harder as you get older, because we aren't in school anymore, which means that we have to go out of our way to meet people. And like I say, I love the fact that I can message someone on Instagram and get to know them straight away. Like, there's so many of you guys that I talk to, and I love getting to know you. Like, I love getting to know about your life and speaking to you as if you are all my best mates anyway. But I would definitely say that as you get older, you do need to make a bit more of an effort to go out of your way to meet people, and then invest your time into getting to know them and like making actual friends with them. I love getting to know my friends' friends. So when you meet new people and you get to know them, more often than not, you're gonna love their friends too. I feel like my friends represent me as a person. Like, we're all very similar, and that's why I'm friends with them, because I value their opinion on things, and I just think that we have the same outlook on a lot of stuff. So more often than not, that means that you're probably gonna get along with their other friends too. So if you're in social situations with them and their other mates, then make an effort to get to know them too, because you never know what friendships you could make through that. Also, even just like going out and meeting people in your local area, or making more of an effort to get to know the people that you maybe work with, and again, like, their friends could also be the type of people that you'd represent yourself with and want to be friends with. So yeah, I will admit that it definitely is a lot harder, and I'm again in a lucky position where the possibilities of the people that I could meet and get to know are pretty endless, because the internet is a massive place. But also, definitely don't be afraid to talk to people online and get to know people like through social media and stuff, obviously within reason, and making sure that you are speaking to the specific person, if you know what I mean. But it is so amazing to have like this instant connection with people, and you honestly never know, you could end up best friends with that person. There are so many people in my area that I've got to know through through social media first, and just like seeing that we're connected with the same people, we have like the same mutual friends and stuff, and then you start speaking to them and then you meet them and you could become best mates. So yeah, I hope that may have helped in some way. Right, I'm now just finishing off with my lips, and for this I've used MAC Velvet Teddy, and then over the top I'm using this Clinique gloss, which is in number 6, which is called Adore You. And then that is literally it for my makeup. I am going to stick some lashes on because I've got ready today to film a couple of videos. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this little sit down chatty get ready with me. It was pretty random and I kind of rambled at you guys, so I'm really sorry. Hopefully this is going to be one of those videos that you can just stick on and like hear my voice in the background and kind of get to know me a little bit more. These types of videos are honestly some of my favorites to watch because I love being a little bit nosy and getting to know people's life a bit more. So hopefully this has updated you a little bit too. I just really quickly want to say thank you again for all of your patience over that time and for all of your messages and well wishes and everything. It honestly means the world to all of us. So yeah, I definitely couldn't have got through it like I did without your guys' support. So thank you so much for that. But I'm going to leave you guys to it and wrap this video up here. So thank you all so much for watching as always, and I will speak to you guys very soon in my next one. Bye guys.